I mean, your mom was a
Hmm.
very pivotal role, played a very pivotal role
Hmm.
in your life. But there was a lot of things that you said you didn't learn from her because she
Hmm.
was so busy trying to take care
Yeah.
of everyone that there
Hmm.
was a lot of things that you missed in that nurturing
Hmm.
of a woman.
You can get stuck in a system where some of the stuff is passed down from your grandma and it passed down to your mama, then your mama passed it down to you.
There's so much that comes up when we talk about your family.
It's a lot. When you living, that's what part of living is. And when you die, you're gone. You can't talk about it no more. So while you're here, just it's okay to share your emotions. I'm a person that never really think about money because money is a dark place. I appreciate it because it gets me to the next level. They take it and made it a evil, you know what I'm saying, object and doing whatever to get it. And once you find your talent in a world and you feel good what you're doing, you deserve the money.
You even mentioned, when you talked about the money, you mentioned your father. You
Hmm.
said that he was killed over money.
Hmm.
So, how has faith kind of shaped your journey with all the things that have happened to you?
I don't know.
Well, I was not expecting it.
Some people are just stuck in when you just in a system of you gotta get money. It's kind of
Mm.
like when you raise your mama just send you out to like get a job. You don't really get to be like, oh, what's your talent? What you want to do?
Welcome to Vaught Empowers Talks, where we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential change makers. I'm your host, Brandi Harvey. Now, today we got a good one. I think he might try to throw me off my game a little bit. Marco Summers is a comedic disruptor, digital sensation, and master of the awkward moment with over 5 million followers and viral interviews that have had Kevin Hart, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Yachty hilariously off balance. He's carved out a lane in the entertainment industry that is entirely his own. What started with Instagram skits quickly evolved into a full-blown comedy career, national tours, and headline-making interviews that have redefined how we see celebrity culture. Now he's the host of Open Thoughts and has created original content for Bleacher Report and Netflix campaigns, all while keeping his style raw, real, and unpredictable. Vaught Empowers Talks welcome father, comedian, and content creator Marco Summers to the show.
That was a lot. I didn't know I did all that.
You did all that. Listen, I told Marco before, I said, listen, what am I going to get? Am I going to get the persona of Marco? Am I going to get Marco Summers, funny Marco? Listen, it's going to be a mix of everything.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, just depends on the day. I thought today was Monday.
Today is Thursday.
Yeah,
It's
feel
a
like
Thursday.
Monday.
It's a Thursday, but that's okay. I mean, you are so busy. You maintain quite the career. I mean, I literally just saw your Twitch stream of a pool party with quite a few ladies over at the house. You had BET weekend, so you stay pretty busy.
Yeah. I feel like everybody's busy. Like,
Yeah.
like when you doing something like life is just, like it's just always going. Like it's always going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you have people that help keep you in line.
Yeah. I do.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to be so mindful of all the things in your schedule.
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely getting help with organization because that's something I was never good at.
I mean, you said this, Marco. You said, "Look, I'm not a very organized person." You said that when you sat down, and you said I seem to be a very organized, routine lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said you could tell by my jewelry.
Yeah. How you got it? How long do it take you to put it on?
It's real quick. It's just a 1 2 1 2, and then slap these on, and I'm good.
So like, that's this don't seem quick. So it take loose like 2 minutes probably, and then you got to
No.
see how you want to wear it, right? Like,
No, I stack them up and then I slide all of these on at one time. And then these are separate, and then I put those on, kind of bookend them.
But is it something that you seen happening? Like you built it up like as you getting piece by piece, and then, or like that was the whole goal? I need all of them and wear them like
Well,
that. Or
I didn't always wear this many, but I went to India and I got some of these when I was in India. And they are just not afraid to wear all their jewelry.
right,
And I was like, you know what? I'm
you
not
got
gonna be
inspired.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be afraid to put all my shit on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you put it on. That shit is on. It looked nice too, so it
Thank
fits
you.
you. Yeah.
I was literally on the elevator, old white lady. As soon as she got on, she said, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, look at your bracelets." I was like, "Where'd you get those from?" I said, "India." She was like, "Oh, well, I mean, pretty far to go to get bracelets." I
Yeah.
said, "Well, I
How
did
was
some other
India?
stuff."
Like, was it real nice? They got good food?
It was wonderful. So
Mhm.
I went there to meditate with 80,000 people.
Wow.
So I meditated with 80,000 people.
Mhm.
A man named Daji, who came on the show, he leads the heartfulness movement of
Mhm.
meditation. And he invited me to his Bindari, which is his birthday in September. And I
What's
went.
a bendari?
So it's like a celebration for their masters who have been in the practice of heartfulness.
Mhm.
And so it culminates around his birthday. And
Okay.
so they celebrate him. And then they have the largest ashram in the world. So
You keep using these words.
I,
I don't know what ashmi. That sounds like some food.
so it's like a meditation hall.
Okay.
Like a meditation
Yeah,
hall.
just use that word. Yeah,
I
that
will.
word.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it
Yeah,
slow.
but it's always good to learn new words. That's why it's
It
always good.
is. You are a
So.
very smart man. Here's what I
Mhm.
know about comedians because my father's a comedian.
Mhm.
Comedians are very smart people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In their own way, but in school, we probably wasn't that.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, you've been very vocal. You've talked about how you grew up with ADHD, grew up with dyslexia, and so
Mhm.
that made it really difficult while you were in school. Yeah.
And it's hard to get help with that. It seems
Really? Why do you say that?
because they said you got to go to a psychiatrist to get help. Because people say take I forgot what it's called, Adderall, because it
Okay.
helps you.
To help you focus.
Yeah, but you get prescribed by a doctor, and then they like go see a psychiatrist. But I went to see a psychiatrist, and when I took the test, I didn't pass it, and they said I need to focus, and I'm like, that's why I'm here. So, and they said, well, you have to go somewhere else. They sent me somewhere else and I was like, I'm okay. It's good.
You good.
It's just a
So
lot.
it made learning very difficult for you and
Mhm.
understanding things along your journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure that has probably lent itself into how you show up and how you create skits because that's where you got your start
Yeah,
creating
just
skits.
thinking and going. And I was just telling my friend that I'm just a person that deal with consequences later, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do, what's in front of me, and I'll deal with the after fact. And how big the consequences are, let me know if I want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How big the consequences are.
Yeah, good or bad. So
Interesting.
yeah.
So have you found some consequences since you've been doing this form of comedy?
Yeah, on a lot of stuff, and you learn from them. So good and bad. So I feel like I really enjoy the bad more than good because once I learn bad, I understand. You know what I'm saying, and more, and I appreciate the good when it comes.
Yeah. So what's good? What's happening
Mhm.
right now? Because
Mhm.
I recently saw you, we talked about this off camera. You said years ago you bought the equipment to do Twitch.
Right.
You bought the equipment, you already had it, but it wasn't something that you really leaned into because you were YouTube.
It was just me all over the place. So it was like I bought it and then I physically was in and out of it. And my friends was telling me, you got to keep going. Like, like it's
Yeah.
something that's good because I'm good with, share my energy, a lot. So I don't really like keep it to myself. So being able to do it on the internet and do it, offline and online is something that, people are skilled for. And
Yeah.
you do it so much, you enjoy the money that when it comes because you're naturally getting paid for what God gifts you with.
I mean, it just feels like it's so. I used this word earlier. You said don't use this word, but it just feels very intrusive. Like it's all up in your business all the
Yeah.
time. I mean, it's in your house. Like you
Mhm.
literally had the camera set up. You see the people walking around the back, all of that. I would just be too scared to do that,
Yeah.
Marco.
Yeah, and that's what I said. It's consequences. Like, So with that being said, I don't really live to say like business is like when you use that word, it's something ownership. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't own Earth. I just own what I gotta do. So I really don't I just
Marco, I have never heard anybody say that. That is the best line of the season. I don't really own Earth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I really don't
Yeah.
look into be
Yeah.
like bid like this is nothing's personal to me. Like social security cards, like that's personal. Like debit cards, that's something I don't want to share. But if I'm living and people can see it, it's like, like and taking a shower, that's personal. Like it's certain that's why bathrooms it's a closed door. But if it's open, it's like I don't really have nothing private.
Yeah.
I'm not a private person, but besides stuff you gotta be private with, which the world know. Like close the door when you use the bathroom. Like don't share your social security card. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah,
give your
don't do that.
stuff like that
Yeah.
is all right, common sense. But with my life, it's like you should know who I'm dating. You should know who I'm like. You should know if I'm sad or happy.
Really?
Yeah.
You should know who you're dating. You
Me,
should know
that's how I
whether
look
you're
at it.
sad or happy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
that's why it's, when you living, that's what part of living is. And when you die, you're gone. You can't talk about it no more. So while you're here, just it's okay to share your emotions. That's why it's such thing as people miss you when you die because they know about you. But if
Yeah.
you're keeping everything to yourself, how will people know you or miss you?
I mean, I think that speaks to this new generation of
hmm
creators, right?
hmm
Where I recently read this article talking about the mystique of the celebrity is gone. And then Jada and I, who's on my team, we were talking about this. She said yesterday in pre-production, Beyonce is the last celebrity, really,
hmm
right? Because she doesn't share these like very private moments of her life. You only get a sneak peek. You only
hmm
get a snapshot. And so your generation is very much we share it all.
hmm not everybody. I don't really think it's about generation. It's about how you feel comfortable with your life, and if you don't overthink it. And that's like with your dad. He is part of my um, career. I watched a lot of his stories where he
Yeah.
shared he was homeless, about the fish, and like him fishing and the dude calling him and waking him up. His motivation speaks helped me out a lot. So that's why some people need motivation because people share what they've been through. So
Yeah.
even he did it. So I wouldn't say his generation. It's about what you okay with dealing with when you put this out, or you dealing, or you ready to deal with what people got to say about what you're doing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
when some people don't want to hear people's opinions, so they keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
So if you really kind of like, I don't care what you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like when people say what they want to say, you got to get ready for people to say, oh, wow. Like Nelly, if he support Trump, he support Trump. Like I don't care. I don't have an input on what you're doing with your life. I just feel
Yeah.
like people are so in other people's business, they stop worrying about their business.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you agree with it, you agree with it. If you don't, you don't.
I mean, I think that is that level of mystery and mystique that we really don't have in this culture,
hmm
right? Because we're on our phones 24/7.
hmm
We got, streaming
hmm
24/7. I mean, even you mentioned your friend Kai Sanat before we
hmm
even got started. With he has Streamers University. Now he's
hmm
teaching people how to really leverage this. I
hmm
mean, was that something that you were like, this is a part of the sharing of the content, or this is
hmm
like, I got to follow the money
hmm
because the money is leading me to share in this way?
I'm a person that never really think about money because money is a dark place. I appreciate it because it gets me to the next level. But
Hmm.
when you come from like people dying over it, and my daddy got killed over money, and from the hood, people stealing and robbing, breaking it for money, it's like they take it and made it a evil, you know what I'm saying, object and doing whatever to get it. And once you find your talent in a world and you feel good what you're doing, you deserve the money. So once you find your real talent and you wake up and you're happy with what you're doing, the money is a reward. And once you like rewards is something that you've been getting since a kid. You be good, you get a cookie, you do this, that. And then people gotta understand you get money, that's a reward, but people are skipping what they want, what they need to do to get to it. So I don't wanna skip, you know what I'm saying, like what I'm good at. Because I feel like if like LeBron James, he was just good at playing basketball and his
Yeah.
reward is a billionaire but he deserved it because he had a talent. And
Yeah.
like you said, Beyonce, she's good at singing, and the talent is the reward of money. So once you find your talent, money is there. Money, anybody can get money.
Yeah. I love that you said you don't want to skip what you're good at.
Yeah.
You don't want to skip it.
hmm
Yeah. So there are other things that you want to do
Right.
that I think people may have pigeonholed you and put you in a box of being funny
hmm
Marco,
hmm
right? And I recently saw you were on an interview and you said, look, I'm 30 now.
hmm
Like, I don't want to just be funny Marco. I'm Marco Summers.
hmm
And so where are your talents kind of pushing you that you're not skipping in this season?
Break that down.
Okay. So, so you have other interests,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have other things that
Mm-hmm.
you want to do besides
Mm-hmm.
making people laugh. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I recently saw that you were into R&B
Mm-hmm.
and you eventually might want to take that route. So what are some other areas that people may not be familiar with you or
Oh,
might have
just caring about people. It's just caring about. I feel like when you're a good person and you share good, you're gonna receive good. So I feel like as much as bad going on, once you realize I need to be a part of the good, just stand with them and you just gonna receive it. So helping people get to the next level, and that's something that makes me feel good when I can give like a friend like advice or let them in a room with people that they never thought they'd be in a room with, and then they take it and run with it. It makes me feel good. So just
yeah.
seeing people doing good makes you feel good because you know what I'm saying? Like God is watching you. He know what you're doing. So at the end of the day, we gotta go somewhere. That's the most important job in place. So
Okay. So I mean, faith obviously is a very important part of your journey.
hmm
You even mentioned, when you talked about the money, you mentioned your father. You
hmm
said that he was killed over money.
hmm
So, how has faith kind of shaped your journey with all the things that have happened to you? Because if you're
mm,
dealing with death, you're dealing with people who are dying behind money, you're dealing with all these different setbacks.
I don't know.
Well, I was not expecting that one.
Nigga me either.
I was not expecting that.
Give me some tissue. I'm
It's
gonna.
right by your seat.
Oh, so y'all knew this shit was gonna happen.
I did not, Marco, honestly. I didn't know.
It's a good clip.
What's bringing up that emotion for you? The mention of your father?
A little bit. I probably ain't crying like that in some years.
Marco, I would have never even thought, wouldn't have been a thought
Yeah.
that we would even see this side of you.
It's not really a side. Everybody do it. It's just
Yeah.
you know, I might be musty. All right.
I mean,
It's
that's a touchy subject.
I mean, you're just when you people are just some people are just stuck in when you just in a system of you gotta get money. It's kind of
Mm.
like when you raise your mama just send you out to like get a job. You don't really get to be like, oh, what's your talent? What you want to do? So it's like a place where you set up like that, you know? So when you just think it's all about money, you really don't think about what I can do. So when people have a passion and you know what makes you feel good, you don't really have nobody training you to set you up for that. And that's what I said, when you do find that's the most beautiful thing. When you know what you want to do, you just gotta like do it. But I feel like people are just stuck on, you know,
Yeah.
money, like, cause that's all we raised. Like, go get you a job,
Yeah.
not go get your talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was it hard in navigating this journey because your father wasn't there because he was
Mm,
taken so soon
I
from
wouldn't say
you?
it's hard because I don't know how it was if he was there or not. So you can't say it was hard because I got never got to experience both sides.
So he was never in your
He
life.
was he was in jail
Okay.
and back and forth. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Living a street life. But I can't say it was hard because I don't know what it was like with him or without him. All I know is one experience.
Yeah.
So I can't say it was hard because what if he was there and it was the same thing? So can't really speak on something that you haven't experienced both sides on.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I mean, your mom was a very
hmm
pivotal role, played a very pivotal role in
hmm
your life. But there was a lot of things that you said you didn't learn from her because she
hmm
was so busy trying to take care
Yeah.
of everyone that there
hmm
was a lot of things that you missed in that nurturing
hmm
of a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's part of it. She was just more of just in like I told people like in my chat, and that's one thing with Twitch. I'm building a community where it's you can get stuck in a system where some of this stuff is passed down from your grandma, and it passed down to your mama, then your mama passed it down to you, and it's a system. It's like you see your mama see her mama getting food stamps in Section 8, and then she get older and have us and get food stamps in Section 8, and then she has me and my sister see my mama getting food stamps, and then she get it, and then her kids. So you just gotta break the tree. So when you
Yeah.
come from all this is normal, you just feel like this is what it is. But once you start trying to go figure out like it's more to life, and you actually got one time to live, it's a grateful thing, and you start to see like, oh wow, it's more over here than just what we've been seeing down the line.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're doing things that I know are breaking so many
hmm
different patterns in your family.
hmm
I mean, you grew up in Kansas City, right?
hmm
Kansas City, Missouri, so Midwest.
hmm
Not the safest place in the
hmm
world, right?
I feel like the world's not safe,
Hmm.
but we gotta live in it, you know, and that's why you gotta do good while you're here.
Yeah. Doing good while you're here.
Mhm.
I mean, there are so many young people that watch you and they are looking to you as this example, and you are trying to create this momentum of doing good in the world. What would you tell a little black boy
Mhm.
who is growing up in one of these not so kind, not so nice cities in America where they don't feel seen, they got dyslexia, got
Mhm.
ADHD, not feeling like they're a part of the learning experience? What would you tell them?
Finding your talent. If it's something that you feel good doing, like chase it. From basketball, from singing, rapping, a doctor. Like if you feel good and you want to wake up doing that every day, it's possible to make millions of dollars off that than just doing a route that you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
So really, if finding out what I want to do, what could I do waking up every morning that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And once you do that every day, you're gonna stand out. Everybody came from a small place. LeBron James came from Cleveland,
I know, that's
and
where
look
I'm
at him
from.
now, right? And Cleveland is like, this not the, and
Yeah.
Javante Davis from Baltimore. So everybody is from a place where it's been hard to be. So it's possible to make it. So
Yeah.
I just feel like once you know you got a talent, develop the talent, and understand that money gonna come.
Yeah. When did you know you had something different? Because you were doing these skits and you found this lane on the internet that really nobody was doing this until you came along. There have been some copycats though
Mm-hmm.
since you started. But when did you find it that the thing hit, that it clicked?
I still don't know. And just when you live in your life, you really don't look and be like, I got this, because then that's when you can kind of get in your own ego.
Yeah.
So I don't really just like, oh yeah, this and that. Um, but just being able to share like good energy, like I realized I got that because I see so much bad energy. So I realized that I really care about people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, there's been a whole shift in you though.
hmm
Over and especially I met Island
yeah,
and she is a
yeah,
beautiful little girl.
yeah. She's really cool.
There's so much that comes up when we talk about your family.
It's a lot.
Yeah. What do you feel is a lot?
Just different emotions. That's it.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's like a good.
Yeah. What emotions come up when you think about your daughter?
Mm, this is me. Trying.
Mm.
That's all.
Yeah. Trying to be a better person, trying to be a better man,
hmm
all of the things. Yeah. She brings out something that you've never experienced before in your life, right?
Yeah. That's my dog.
That's your dog.
Yeah. All of them. I got 3 kids, so I really just enjoy them all.
Oh, wow.
hmm
Okay.
Island and Prize and my son. So
Now, how old are your other children?
Prize is about to turn 1 June 16th, and Million is 12. Yeah, she's
Oh,
12.
okay.
Yeah.
You got different ages and stages
hmm
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is really stretching you in this season.
Hmm.
And you are not, you still really young, relatively young.
Hmm.
30 years old?
Yeah, I'm 31. I'll be forgetting.
31.
My birthday, June 19th.
Okay.
Or I think I'm 32. I'm not sure.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The
Born
internet will
93.
let us know how old you are.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just be
they'll
so
tell you.
busy with life. It's like, all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so what are they teaching you besides, making you trying? You're
Hmm.
trying to be a better person, better father, better
Just
man.
example. I mean, when you leave something for your kids to go back and look at, we're grateful to have that, the internet and
Yeah.
pictures, that they'll be able to look at it. I go back and look at my daddy. He just loved jail pictures. So sometimes what you leave is what you show. So it's just like I seen that route of being like my daddy was known as a real nigga, but that's what all his homies tell you, but they don't be there for you. So you know what I'm saying. So really living for the streets and being real to them don't really affect your kids once you dead or gone.
Yeah.
So you gotta be present to them and not just tell your friends and you know what I'm saying, like girls and stuff, because they'll tell you their experience of your dad, but if you don't have it, it really don't matter.
I mean, that is such a good point that you just said. And I don't think I've ever looked at it like that. You
Mm.
said leaving them something to look at.
Yeah.
All your dad left you was jail pictures, but you were leaving them something, a body of work for them to go look at. That
Hmm.
is so good. I don't think I've ever thought about it. Even when I think about my own dad,
Hmm.
I haven't really put it into that perspective of he's given me something to go look at,
Hmm.
and he's
Yeah.
given me a lot to go look at,
Yeah. Me
you
too.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good. I mean, I I can only imagine how difficult it can be though, even with co-parenting cuz
Hmm.
you've talked about that
Yeah.
before that co-parenting it comes with challenges though
Yeah.
in raising these children. What has been one of the challenges that you've seen?
Oh, well, just somebody not seeing the good in you, like, and you care about them, even though you know what I'm saying? So just them not seeing you giving them the best you can.
Hmm.
So I feel like, as men and women, we gotta look at it like they are doing their best, and like sometimes they realize it when you gone, like, oh wow, he really did try, or they realize it once they get another father or another comparison. So sometimes people need to get somebody bad to know, oh, that's good, and that's why I say sometimes people need bad to understand good.
Yeah.
So
What has been one of those challenges for you as like traveling and doing all these things? Is it spending the time, making the time?
mm. Not just bringing it back home to them.
Yeah.
I feel like even with my child's mother, I still want to support them and promote their brands and help them. Like we ain't gotta be together, but just overall it comes back to the kids. So that's how I think it's come back home. And my experience, some women don't think like that. Like just bring it back home to the kid.
Yeah.
They don't have. Sometimes people want to enjoy it themselves too and want that, and that's what I said. Child support. Some people just want it, like need for their money, but really bring it to the kid because that's who really,
Yeah.
that's who really need it at the end. That's what y'all created together.
Yeah.
So if we do a business, which kids are businesses, you know what I'm saying? Because they can grow up and be the best person. That's why you got to put them in colleges and put them in the right spot in schools. Like it's a business. Like you got to take care of it to watch it grow and let it go on its own. And some people don't look at that because at the end of the day, it's like that's the most important thing because we both gonna get old and they gonna have to live and
Yeah.
take care of one of us. So let's invest it into them and not just me. I'm not want the money for me. I don't want your. It's just like be there for the kid and let's do it together. That's
Yeah.
how I feel like. But and it's up to men to start picking the right women and see how they
Mm.
think and not just mess with people because they body and how they look.
Has
And
that been a issue before
yeah,
in how
just
you've
going off
chosen?
how
Yeah.
they look and like what the potential, what I think it can be. And so who you pick to have kids with is important.
That's so good, Marco, cuz I rarely hear a lot of people your age even talking about it in that way, of like making that better choice, right?
Hmm.
Of like her body ain't going to raise your baby,
Hmm.
Like I know she fine,
Yeah.
but that's not what's going to
Hmm.
instill those principles and those values, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, choosing better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, You talked about in one of your sit downs before, and this was when you talk about the value of the woman and what they can help you do and choosing better. You made a statement that I was like, whoa, you found out how to love yourself better. A woman taught you how to love and care for yourself better. And you use the example of even bathing yourself, that there was a woman who taught you that because you
Hmm.
didn't get that at home.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because some people are raised with a mama and daddy and grandmas and family. So when you meet somebody that's not having that or love, and then you meet them, you're supposed to learn from them, and you share it and gain from that. So when you have a dad that's not around to take you out of the shower, and then your mama that got 4 kids and stressed out, she don't have time to show you, and then you meet a woman that had all that, and then she
Yeah.
share with you. You got to be open to take when you meet people. I feel like people are so ready to like take money and sex from people. Like just take knowledge sometimes. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
yeah. Knowledge gets you far,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what I did. I was like Gene, like who I invested like property, and I bought my own house from. And, like I learned a lot, from him, and comedians from Drewski and Desi Banks, Kevin Hart, even your dad. You learn from people. That's what gets you far. I just feel like people don't. Once they graduate from school, they feel like it's done learning. But you gotta realize what got you here, school, and you don't.
I love how you brought up Gene. He's here. Gene Johnson is here. We're gonna bring him up shortly. I want you to tell the story because Desi Banks is who introduced you to Gene.
Hmm.
They built a house. You bought the house,
Yeah,
and that was how you guys got connected, right?
yeah. But I was on like got to do a show with Desi, and he put me on stand up. And once I did it, and I seen like I feel good doing it on stage. I was like, let me go figure out how it would go for me, and it started going good, and I was making good money, and am making good money from stand up, and I wanted to like get somewhere else to live, and I was talking to Desi about just paying him for the house, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just like he was like, it don't work like that. You can't just give me money, and he's like, you got to get credit, and I never bought a house before, so I didn't know,
Yeah.
so just that relationship showed me that credit is important. Also, credit in relationships because that's what helped me get the house.
Yeah.
But I was just going in like, let me give you some money, and I pay on it. I don't really know about all that credit stuff, but that made me learn, about credit and also like, that property of the house. And it was
Yeah.
like, oh wow, it's another side. It's not just about money. Again, people just think once you get money, you can get a lot of money, but if you're not with the right people and making the right decisions, it's just gonna be there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're constantly growing and leveling up, and people
mhm,
don't realize, right? Because I think oftentimes they see your skits, they see how funny you are, they get into the awkward silence
mhm,
moment of all your videos, right? And they're not really understanding that you're making different type of investments and moves in your life right now.
mhm,
Yeah. So talk about the real estate because this is your new interest right
mhm.
now. Yeah.
It's something that you people need, and it can get passed down to your kids. So that's just having that relationship, and when you having money come in, it's like you make when you make money, you supposed to go make it work for you. So, and that's what I'm learning too. Just when you get money, you start spending it, and you just getting stuff, and it's not working for you. You're just doing it the wrong way because you just giving it back.
Yeah.
So if you are doing things and getting land or getting restaurants. Like that's you seeing your money work, and then that money comes in, and you can play with that money.
Yeah.
So a
How
lot of money.
long how long have you been on this path? Like when did you start
Well, I'm
start?
still in it
Yeah.
because we're like looking at investment. I'm still understanding it, and I'm staying close to it, and like seeing how Gene get up in the morning and looking at land and like, wow, this is real. You can buy grass, and that can make you money
Yeah.
instead of buying jewelry. So and it's okay to buy jewelry, but let get what I'm saying, make that be the reward when you're like, damn, I did all this and then now I deserve it.
Yeah.
So
Let that be the reward. Well, here's the thing about you, you talked about this knowledge thing and
mhm,
and really passing on this knowledge and learning new tools. you brought Gene with you today
Mhm.
because this was something you wanted to gift our audience with.
Yeah.
Is the knowledge that you are equipping yourself with, the knowledge that you have. You want them to understand what's possible and what's available to them, right?
Right. Because you don't know until like you hear it and feel it or be
Yeah.
next to it.
Yeah. Well, Gene, I think Gene is ready. Are you ready to come up, Gene? All righty. All
Gene
right.
love talking.
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell Gene was ready.
But he got his friend. It's so funny because his friend is the real talker, and Gene say I'll piggyback off him. So it's like you got to put him on the spot. So yeah.
Well, you didn't put him on the spot because this
Yeah.
was very unexpected today. So y'all gonna swap seats,
Mhm.
and he's gonna come and join us, and then
Yeah.
you'll come back. Gene Johnson, welcome to the show. You are the gift that we didn't know we needed today.
Wow. Well, I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. I was getting just a little background. You know, I pride myself on knowing about the people who sit in a seat before they sit down. So I was getting my little 5-minute elevator pitch from you about what you got going on. But really wonderful. I mean, 18 plus years in real estate, started your career as in the real estate field, Keller Williams, and then have moved on since then to development. And now you build houses.
I do.
Come on, black man building houses.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen. And so that was how you met Marco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So Desi Banks is he's been investing 5 years with me, and we've been doing a lot of new construction throughout Atlanta. And Desi called me one day and said, "Hey, Marco wants to see a house. He's interested in buying."
Yeah.
And it was funny because he was telling the story like when I first met him, he thought he could give us some money, but it doesn't work like that. So he went through the process of talking to a lender, fixing some stuff on his credit, and
Yeah.
he became a homeowner. Because in America, still to this day, like most people, biggest wealth is in their property. If you look at values 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and if you look at values 10 to 15 or 20 years from now, values are going to always go up. There will be times in the market where it dips, but real estate has always been a great investment. And like when we was growing up, our grandparents used to own their homes.
Yeah.
And somewhere down the line, like people stopped owning homes. And like we got to get back to educating people. Like you hear a lot of talk about financial literacy, but we just need basic real estate literacy in this country. Because if you understand the value of that house and what it can do for you, then you can make better decisions. A lot of people talk about gentrification. In some ways, it does affect certain people, primarily renters. But if we're educated about it, like we can make better decisions because they can't buy what we don't sell.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, they might sell grandma house for 100,000 or 50,000, but the value could be a lot more if you renovate it, tear it down, and build something back.
I mean, I want you to talk to, I mean, really, Marco's audience is a younger demo. You're dealing with a lot of Gen Zers, right? Who are not even in the thought of buying a home. But if you were to talk to them, and this is the 20 something, right? What would be the first thing that you would tell them to do?
I would tell them to talk to a mortgage broker to understand what they need to do to qualify for a loan and see what their payments could be. There are a lot of programs out there, specifically FHA loans, where you can get a house with 3.5% down. And single family goes up to 4 units now. So if you can find a duplex or quadruplex or even a triplex, they can take the income from the other property, the rent value, and qualify you for that.
Well, then hold on, Mr. Johnson. I'm talking about now. We have somebody like Marco who says, "I done got this money. I got money. I want to do something. They come to you and say, I'm gonna just pay you. I'm gonna just pay you. Here, I'm gonna throw you some cash. We'll figure that out." I want you to talk to that person, right? Who has no idea what a mortgage broker is, who does not know who they don't even know where do I go find one of them. Like they on Instagram. Like where I go find they on TikTok. You know.
Well, I would say start with a reputable realtor, because most realtors are going to know a good loan officer that you can talk with. You can go into the bank, but I don't think the banks always have the best loan products out there. I think trying to find a realtor that can connect you with a good mortgage broker is probably the best way to go.
Hmm.
Because you can apply online and you just never know what you're getting. So building that relationship or going into like a Keller Williams or a real estate company, getting you an agent that can help you get in front of the right loan officer or lender to pre-qualify you. And just getting pre-qualified, even if you don't have your credit right, it's a good idea to still talk to them to understand what you may have to fix and what you may have to save to be able to get to the point where you can purchase.
Okay, so in this climate that we're in right now, lowest possible credit score for someone to go in and buy their home for the first time.
So I just talked to my lender yesterday because I have a house that I'm listing for 215 in Riverdale. He has a loan program with credit scores starting at 580.
A
But
580 credit score
yes,
can get you your first home.
yes. Now I don't know all the other little nuances with that 580, but you can have a minimum of a 580 credit score. And when I list the property, I'm going to be offering 6.5, well, 6% to the buyer, so they can almost come in with a little to no money to get into that property.
Wow. All right. So for that $215,000 home, what would be the base income for someone that they would have to be making to be able to qualify for that home?
That I don't know.
Okay.
And the reason I don't know is because it goes
It
by your yeah,
fluctuates.
your
Yeah.
your debt to income ratio,
Yeah.
what other expenses you have. But again, you know, talking to a good mortgage person or
Yeah.
talking to a good realtor to connect you. And there are so many different lenders out there and they all have different programs. So the lender that might work for me may be different from somebody else based on their credit history, based on their income, based on where they're at in the country.
Yeah.
So it's just good to have a realtor that can connect you with a mortgage broker that can point you in the right direction.
Yeah. So, as a developer, and you've been developing many styles of properties, all residential, and now you're even moving into the tiny home phase of building. What gets you excited about people like a Desi Banks and a Marco who have these platforms, who are young, who kind of have their pulse on the culture? What excites you most about working with people like that?
I think the outreach and the people that we can reach and just education, because it all starts and ends with education, and like you can leave your kids all the money, you can leave your kids houses, but if they're not educated how to maintain and keep that, then they're
Yeah.
going to lose it.
Yeah.
So it just starts with the education.
Yeah.
And we try to meet people, where they are. We have a YouTube and then we do have classes, and I actually teach people how to build. And I didn't get into the space, thinking I would teach. It just kind of happened because over the last, 15 years, I've just been posting, and people would always, reach out to me and say, "Hey, I want to learn. I want to learn. I want to learn." And during the pandemic, we actually launched a school called Building Builders Academy.
Build and Builders Academy.
Building Builders Academy.
Building Builders Academy.
Yes.
Hmm.
And at Building Builders Academy, we teach people how to find land, how to get the money, and the process to build. And that goes back to the education because most people think they need a lot of money to get into this space, but you really don't. You just need the education piece
Hmm.
because there are different type of loans for your personal house, and there are different type of loans if you want to do an investment property. Because most investment loans that we get, whether we're buying land and building, they're asset-based loans, so they're lending us more on the asset versus our credit and all the other stuff.
Okay. So if people want to join the Building Builders Academy, what would they need to do?
They would need to go to buildingbuildersacademy.com.
And they will find all the information.
They can find all the information there.
Well, Mr. Johnson, thank you so much for joining us for this educational segment. Listen,
thank
we
you for
weren't
having me.
expecting this today, but
Me
look at
either.
that. Here we go. Thank you for joining us. How you feeling?
Good.
You feel good?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you for sharing Mr. Johnson with us today.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm still
Yeah.
learning too.
I know. I love that, though. I think what
Mm.
makes you so special is the fact that while you're still learning, you're willing to share what you know and the process with everybody else.
Yeah, and sometimes people I feel like they make it's unbelievable. So I feel like some people don't take the knowledge because they always think sometimes when people give you something, they want something.
Yeah. And you don't want anything from it.
No, for you to just share with the next person.
Yeah. So as we begin to close out in this segment, I think people are going to see you in a totally different light in this interview.
Mhm.
Yeah. Were you expecting that?
No, I'll just go in and just don't really plan nothing. Yeah.
You don't really plan. It's the part of going with the flow.
I mean, but also who you sit down with, so I know like you and what you really, you sit down with who you interested in. So that is a plan where you know what world you're going to. So I know the
Yeah.
world that you really care and you want to know information. So
Yeah.
I knew that, but I
Yeah.
really don't say how I'm gonna respond. I just do me.
I was like, oh, I think he might give me the blank stare off. I thought
Yeah.
that was gonna happen. Listen,
Yeah,
but you
sometimes
didn't.
yeah, and that's when I'm thinking
Yeah.
of what the next thing I want to say to them.
So that's what the blank stare off is usually like. You're
Sometimes.
thinking of the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it is very unique to you, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How are you going to evolve this idea? How are you going to evolve this concept? Because you do stand up, and you said that was a thing that really excites you right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what can people expect when they come to see you on tour?
Just letting them know more about me.
Yeah.
And I share just my story about my mom and dad and school and just why is it funny to me? Like I feel like pain is funny to me. So, and that's just, my thing because it's supposed to happen. Like when you live in real life, you're going to have pain.
Yeah.
And when you laugh at it, it's just kind of, it's the medicine for pain.
Yeah. I mean, I saw your tattoos on your leg. You got Red Fox on your leg. Yeah, tattooed on you.
Yeah.
Is that how you kind of mimic your comedic style to that of like a Red Fox?
Just watching them, so a lot of great comedics from, that are in now. And like I told you, that has a big impact on my story and life because I watch them every morning. They stop doing it, but the motivational speaks that he does.
Yeah, yeah.
And they, it's
for the radio, for the morning show.
Not that one. That's the TV show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the TV, that one. That's the one. So just hearing those stories and just hearing, people that actually made it, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, and a thing that I just came up with. And I feel like people want claps, but they don't want to clap for others. And
people
I feel
want
like,
claps, but they don't want to clap for others.
Yeah, so you got to be able to clap for people to receive claps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who excites you right now? When you look at your peers, when you look at other comedians in the space, who's exciting you right now?
I say everybody that's chasing their dreams. So it's not about how far you are, how much money you got, or followers. So just to see, and there's a lot of people I get on Instagram and I become a fan of them, and then they keep going and elevating. It's just like, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
And, women, guys that just own their thing, and women that also make transfer, because I feel like it's hard for women nowadays, so women that are actually making business moves and, opening the doors to show other women that it's still alive, that you can grind and you don't have to, get a man with money. You can become the man with the money.
You can become the man with the money?
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there somebody that you still want to work with that is out there that you're like, he or she is on my bucket list of people?
Yeah, Adam Sandler, because I feel like he's somebody that's really
I could
good,
totally
and he
see that.
shares like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
really
his
good.
style I think would very much so complement yours.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam Sandler. It's so funny because when Pretty V said in the spot, I said I don't think that people will really know she's like such a big Jim Carrey fan.
Yeah.
Like that's her.
Pretty
but
big,
when
we talk. I really love her. She prayed and she send you prayers
She does. I get a
regardless of her.
prayer from Pretty V every now and again.
Yeah.
I get a nice little Bible verse, a little
Yeah.
motivational something from V every now.
Yeah. Nah, she's a great person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's so good. I mean, I think that sometimes when we look at especially Black comedians and especially the younger generation, we kind of think like, oh, they're always gonna pick a Black icon, one of the Black legends.
Yeah.
And it's always like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, when we look at Pretty V saying a Jim Carrey, you saying Adam Sandler. But it makes total sense. Because if you watch
we got a lot we can name. So when you just see like a unique style and I'm gonna take it and bring it back home, that's just what it's like. You know, with every culture got something that they good at and great at, and when you're a part of it, like bring it back home, bring it back to the family. And that's why I said, what you bring it back home, man. We gotta learn that from each other. That's why I don't judge or I don't, go in like, oh, this in certain races. Because I feel like you can learn from everybody.
Yeah.
But you just gotta bring it back home because we are Black. And when we bring it back, it's like you become a legend. Like your dad, Kevin Hart. Like they've been in the rooms with, the other side, but they bring it back home. So, and it's staying in, it's legends and,
yeah.
for us.
Do you understand the impact that you're having on the culture, or is that something you don't even think about it?
No, I don't understand it yet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think this internet day and age of content creation is changing what the celebrity looks like, right? I've had David Shands on the show, and he said the podcasters are going to be the new celebrities, right? Because when you think of people,
the streamers are the new celebrities.
The streamers are the new celebrities. Yeah.
And that's with, changing and doing new things and showing like, real love. And the streamers are getting love because they actually can see how they act and what they doing, and they can see it in real time. It's not an edit.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not an edit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real life time. So it's like a TV show when you can watch something and it becomes like reality. It's like you'll love it more.
Yeah.
So if somebody got to live with you in real time versus, through recording, they gonna get a difference.
Yeah. They're gonna see me in a whole different light. You know that? Because they're gonna know, oh, she cuss a lot off camera.
Yeah. And then you'll have the cussing community. Like,
I'll have the cussing community.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a cussing community. Listen,
right. Somebody behind you. And that's why I say Kai is really big, because you get to see how he is in real time.
Yeah.
And he's like setting up a door and he's helping the younger kids and people there in school that's watching him. You don't have to break in cars. You don't have to work a 9 to 5. Just sit in front of the computer and you can be you and make a lot of money and get back to your friends.
Yeah. If you could tell your younger self anything, what would you tell him?
Nothing, because I feel like everything I went through, I needed to go through it to make me who I am right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, somebody asked me the same questions about mistakes, and I said I need mistakes to get where I'm at. So,
yeah.
Other than that, I would say use a condom. That's all.
That would be a thing.
But my kids are great. So then it's like, would I do that again? It's like,
I mean, that's a real. I love that. Use a condom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a real live point that we need to go ahead and drive home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use a condom. That's a real point. Thank you for that. That's an after school special right there.
Yeah.
Listen, use a condom. Amen. So as we begin to close out, one word you are committed to in this season of your life.
Mindset.
Mindset. Why?
Because if you don't have a mindset, you don't have nothing. So your mind is everything. And, and that's why it's a such thing as, when coma, like when you can't think or you can't do, your body's there. But if your mind is not working, you're not alive.
Yeah.
So your mindset is something that gets you far. I think an ideal will get you rich.
Mindset. Marco, it has been a pleasure. You have totally surprised me today. You got the wild card for today. I was not expecting what you brought to this seat today.
Oh,
thank you so much. Thank you. Vaughn and Power Talks, another good one for the books. Be sure to share this with someone who needs to elevate their mindset in this season of their life. Until next time, I'm your girl, Brandi Harvey. Eat well Give a damn. Move your body every single day. Peace.